AfterPay, ZipPay, EasyPay. How many times have you used buy now, pay later services in the last 2 months? Today we'll talk about why you should all pay them off now and never use it again. Hey guys, it's Oscar from Down Under, and today we're opening up a discussion about these buy now, pay later services and their pros and cons and what my biggest problem with it is. So what exactly am I talking about here? You may have heard of AfterPay or ZipPay. They're called buy now, pay later services because, well, you buy the item now and you pay it off later. But it comes with a lot more nuances that we're going to talk about. According to a recent review of the Australian Securities and Investment Commission, or ASIC, more than 4 in 5 users of these services reported that they're going to use it again. Most also reported that these services allowed them to buy more expensive items and spend more than normal or make more spontaneous purchases. Some who have taken debt and had difficulty paying it back reported that they have delayed paying bills, became overdrawn, or took another loan from family, friends, or another bank. What's scary is that 1.2 million users are in the 18 to 35-year-old range, and under 900,000 of them reported to have less than $40,000 in annual income, and almost 40% of this group reported to be either a student or a part-time worker. To be fair, I also see some benefits in using these services. You get an interest-free long-term payment plan, you get staggered payments of at least once a fortnight, depends on the service that you used, and it's a good alternative to credit cards because generally consumers aren't charged any interest and the fees that you're gonna pay are going to be limited. And from the point of view of businesses, I can see 2 big benefits of why they will offer these kinds of services. For one thing, they will turn window shoppers into actual shoppers, and this will add a lot of revenue for their business. Let me explain. Have you ever shopped around online and thought, I'll put this in my cart so when I get my salary next week, I can buy it? Well, buy now, pay later solves that problem, because even if you don't have the money now, you can pay for it later. This can also add big revenue for a business. Let's say you're going shopping and you're thinking, I only have $100. I can only buy $100 worth of stuff. But with buy now, pay later services, you can virtually add an absurd amount of stuff into your cart and buy it all at the same time. But that's where I see the benefits end. Businesses will try to make money as much as they can, so it's our job as consumers to be wary of the effects of this has for our finances and our credit score. Thus leads to my biggest problem with buy now, pay later: impulsive spending. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself and my finances. 3 years ago, I went into a car dealership to ask for how much their car is. One thing led to another, and the next thing I know, I was signing a contract, and once I got out of the dealership, I called my friend and said, I think I just bought a car. Yeah, that's impulsive spending. Obviously, you can't buy a car with buy now, pay later services, but I believe that this will only encourage impulsive spending even more. And as you spend more, you increase the chances of overspending, which means you're less likely to have money in the next payment cycle, which will more likely get you late fees and other fees involved. And as you spend more, you increase the difficulty of keeping track of your expenses. Let's say, for example, that you're gonna buy something on January 1 and you're gonna have to pay for it every fortnight for the next 2 fortnights. And you bought another one at January 3 and then you're gonna have to pay for it again every week for the next 2 fortnights as well. And then you bought another one at January 6, January 8, January 9, and which all has staggered payments. Can you keep up? Now you've got 1 million payments coming in every week, which increase the likelihood of you missing a payment and getting hit with late fees or overdrawn fees if in case your checking account or your credit card doesn't have enough balance. Worse if you have a credit card because you'll get more interest at that. So, yeah. And as you spend more, you will pay the different unavoidable fees that will apply. Some buy now, pay later services have monthly account keeping fees which would range from $1 to about $8 every month. You may have to pay payment processing fees on top of your regular repayment, which could cost you about $3 every time as well. And some buy now, pay later services require you to have an account establishment fee for upwards of to $90. And as you spend more, you also run the risk of ruining your credit score.
Run. Run.
ruining your credit score and getting rejected for a home loan. With the new credit reporting system, which I have done a video about before, which I'll put in the link up here in the description down below, these buy now pay later services would also be seen as lines of credit in the time that you apply for a loan and you still have repayments pending with buy now pay later services. Even if you've done everything correctly and stayed up to date with all of the payments, this would be seen by the lender as an ongoing financial commitment. Let's say you used AfterPay in the last 2 fortnights, which means you still have a payment for 2 more fortnights. If the lender sees this, he will see this as 2 months of payment and then will annualize the payment as an ongoing financial commitment, which could result in a few more $1,000s in living expenses in your application for your home loan. I think that about sums up my rant about buy now pay later services. Again, as in all of my videos, I am not a financial advisor. Go and do whatever you want with your money. All I'm saying here is that I, in my opinion, could see more negatives than positives when using this thing. You know, it might be difficult to believe, but there was one day before where there were no buy now pay later services and even credit cards. People had to buy stuff with money that they actually had. But oh well, this is the world we live in and we have to make the best out of it. And on that note, if you liked the video, leave me a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, press the subscribe button and tap the bell notification icon to see a video every Thursday. This is Austin from Down Under and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, there was a spider. Get away.